Hi guys, still on. So today I am going to show you a video doing snowflakes. Hopefully 4 different ones. But it's hopefully because I've done one, I can do one, but then I saw 3 others I like the look of in a picture. So I am actually going to attempt them for the first time while filming so we can see together how hard they are or how easy they are. So 1 will turn out hopefully great and 3 may be an absolute complete disaster, so you'll have to bear with me. I am going to be using gel paint because it's thicker and it means it won't run. But if you don't have a gel paint, you could just use an ordinary gel polish, put it on a palette, and if you have it, mix a tiny bit of acrylic powder in, like I did for that seal nail, and it thickens the gel. If not, and you're not an acrylic person, it might be a case of just curing step by step. So I've got 2 of my favourite brushes with me. I have, oops, where are we? This one, which is quite thin as you can see. That's my Line It Fine by CJP. But I've abused that brush so it's a little crooked. And my other all-time favourite is my super pointy Dorota one, as usual. I have just painted some tips in green, and for the purpose of the video, because they're so intricate, I have used, you know, way bigger tips than my actual thumb, but these are the biggest one in my box, so I figured I'd have more room to make good or screw up. So yeah, I will be back with you in a moment. I've just got some curing with my base colour. I'm just going to top coat them and then I'm going to top coat and leave them. I was just deciding whether or not to buff them smooth, but at least if I leave them top coated and I balls up, I can just wipe it off. So I'll be back with you in a minute. And before I forget, happy December. And if you are following along, you are going to need dotting tools. Okay, so I just grabbed some little cleanups just in case. Because this is me, so I'm not banking on it going entirely smoothly. I am going to put some of this on my palette, and then I've got it right where I want it. Although my pot is getting a little empty now. I'll just do that for now. I can add more as I go along. But I've actually had that pot maybe a year or more. It really does last because a little really does go a long way. So I used to have a magnet I used to stick these to, so I had something bigger to hold, but I'm not quite sure where it's gone. Found it. Okay. So for the first one, how big are these nails? I'm just deciding which I probably should have decided before I actually decided to start filming, which dots I'm going to use. Okay, I'm going to use the smaller one. You zoom it in enough, there we go. So, if I just get my dotting tool. So you want to put a dot in the middle. And then if you kind of think of it like a clock, and, well, not quite a clock because we're doing 6, but let's call it quarters and they're in between us. The only problem with gel paint sometimes is it's tacky. So you get the little stringies. But that is what I wanted my cotton swabs for. So we don't cure that. So if you run your brush through to load it, and do you remember when I said about twisting your hand in that movement to bring it into a point? Just give that a wipe off because I last had green on there. Okay. So if we do, I'll do the down one first because that's the easiest stroke for me. So if you go down and then just pull your paint, you can go in whichever order you want, and you just pull it through. Now I've only done it with one center dot and one outside dot, but you could do as many dots along as you feel comfortable in doing to make it as intricate as you'd like. But if any of you are new to snowflakes or haven't done it before, I thought just the one row of dots might be easiest. And that is your first simple snowflake. Now you could have 2 or 3 dots going up, like I said. And if you want it to be fancy, you could even have little spokes coming out through the center. I, however, don't trust myself not to entirely balls it up, so I'm going to leave that. But you could add as many little dots to that as you want to make it as intricate as you want. But for a first basic one, that is your first snowflake. I'm going to put that one into cure. And I am just going to take a look at my picture for the next one because I don't quite remember what I look like now. I'll be back with you in a second. Okay. So this one is going to be a bear with me one. Now it starts off pretty similar to this first one, but just different. So here's where it gets tricky. This is the bear with me part because I've never done this one before. So we will have a dot in the middle, which is right here. And then it's a 4 and a 4. So again, it's the compass points and the in-betweens. It just looks on the picture like it goes a little further out. So this is the please trust me part. Okay. So that is my 8. Okay. No, I am not. Yes. No. Yes. I'm going to switch brushes. I am going to switch brushes. So I'm just going to load this one up like I did with the other one. Fill in my brush with that gel while sharpening my point. And I'll just give it a little wipe off as well, and we'll go again. That just makes sure that any product that was in there before isn't. Oh, okay. So it looks like instead of dragging from the center, it looks like this time we drag down, kind of. Okay, we'll ignore that one. We're going to drag from the center, but we're going to stop at our dot. So we're not going through the end dot on this one. We are stopping at the dot. Now it looks like on this I actually do need to put a little bit more gel on my brush. Stop at the dot. And stop at the dot. And stop at the dot. And stop at the dot. Now I'm just going to cleanse that one off because, oh bugger, actually it can stay. It'll remind me not to do it again. Right, now I'm just putting a little more gel on my brush just to make sure I have some there. And then at the top of the point, we just want to pull it into a little point. But I didn't want it to go too far, that's why I didn't drag all the way through. And you can shape it into my staying camera. From the looks of it, it's almost like a teardrop. So you can wiggle your brush to shape it a little more if you would like to to get the point you're wanting rather than the little twiggy I left on that one. It really seems to be a running theme that I'm trying designs for the first time on camera, which probably isn't the best way to go. But I suppose at least you get to see my screw-ups. Case in point. So we have that step. And cure any step along of the way. I'm going to do this next bit and then cure because quite frankly, the bit after that I am more than likely going to screw up. So it looks like I'm thinking I might have been better off with gel polish for this bit because it's a bit more draggy isn't a word, but draggy is the description I'm using. It's a little more draggy. So too much. So it looks like the main camera. So they press like a blob and then they pull it in. Kind of like that. Oh, I'm making a mess of this. Okay, so they kind of curve it more so it's a little more fancy. Do you see why I said you can cure at any point? Yep, I'm thinking gel paint is definitely a little thick for this one. Either that or I've just really over flooded my brush. Let's try again. No, they've got like a really lovely curl. I wonder if they dotted, you know, like we did for these ones here. I wonder if they've used the tiny, one of the tiny dotting tools and dotted either side and then pulled them in to give the little rounded bit. I mean, this isn't terrible, it just doesn't look like the picture. Okay, so I'm just going to cure that one. This is where we are at the minute. Okay, so that is cured. And in hindsight, looking at the picture some more, they definitely, oops, let me get my pointer. For these bits here, they definitely used a teeny weeny dotting tool. If you buy the multi-packs, it does come with an itty bitty one, which I am about to use now. So find the smallest one you've got. If you don't have one that small, you use your brush the way I did on the other bits. And we are just putting little dots in between each one. Am I in camera? Yes, I am. I keep having to look because when I'm working on little details, I have a tendency to pull the nail towards myself and that's when I end up out of bloody shot. Okay. So just put a teeny weeny and sharpen my point. And then these just get pulled into the middle. If the line's too thin, you can run your brush through it more than once to get the result you want. And that is it for that one. So not an entire, not the way it looked on the picture, but not half bad. Not half bad. It really, a lot of the snowflake designs really are just a case of, I need to stop playing with that, are a case of lines and dots. And sometimes it's just having the pull-in motion right or lining them up right to get the result that you want. Some of them look a lot more complicated than they are. Some of them really are complicated, don't get me wrong. But some of them look more complicated than they are until you break it down a little. Okay, so that is curing and that one is done. And then we'll start the next one in a second. Okay, so this is my gel paint. This is white gel polish. I am going to give it a go and see if I can get more draggy lines with the gel polish. So these are the two we've got so far. And this one is more, I don't know, brush technique than it is dotties or anything else, I would say. So for this one, I want to get that cat hair out there. I want to find my center point in the nail, which is going to be there. And then let's cross our fingers. So this one is up and down and then an X kind of thing. So we want a little ball on the end of our brush. And do not, my tablet went off then. I'm looking at it on the screen next to me. So am I in focus? Yes, I am. So we do, I need the ball to stay on the end of my brush and it keeps moving. So we do straight down. No. Right, 1 second. I haven't done that far enough up. So let me just cleanse that off. And we'll start again. Okay, so that's more like it. So like an exclamation point. Needs to be quite long and quite far away. Now instead of going across, we want the X. That's why I said an up and down and an X. I'm just trying to figure out where it'd be semi-evenly. But I suck at spaces like that. Okay, that one isn't bad. That one was not bad. So we kind of half line that up. You could mat off the nail and draw your lines on in pencil and then follow them if you are not good at lines. Okay. Again, you can cure after this step. If it makes you feel more comfortable, cure whenever time you want. You do not have to leave it until I do. That's just a mix of cockiness and stupidity on my part. So it looks like we do little curved branches, but pull them down as we're going. There we go. Ah, so we might not have needed the straight line. We might just need to make curls. See how the bottom ones look better? Because I curled them in. We'll see. I'll do the bottom one again. Right. So, curl. And curl. Oh, that's far too long. That looks like a giant T. Okay. So a little more delicate. Like that one. And just curl your brush in. Are we ready? Apparently I can only curl in one direction. Right. And we'll take my little dabby brush and stop my actual brush rolling around, and we'll get rid of the giant T. And we will try and curl again. This is going to take a lot more practice. But I did say I was trying some of them for the first time, so what you're seeing is what you are getting with this one. I just really liked the design and was curious about it. And we can both see together how hard it is, or isn't, I mean, I'll show you the picture of this one afterwards that I copied from. Which, by the way, is also a step-by-step picture. It's one I took off Pinterest. Oh, my hand's cramping holding that. It's one I took off Pinterest. I keep going to reach for that gel paint. Well, this is one I can say I have tried at least, but it is also one I'm definitely need more practice at. Okay. Let's put that into Nuke and I'll show you what that one's supposed to look like. Alright, 1 second. Let me just lid my brush because I do not want my lamplight getting on my brushes. So let us zoom you all the way out. There you go. So, and let me brightness for you. So this is what I was trying to show you just then. Obviously it isn't quite finished. Also doesn't really look like that. But that was the inspiration for the first picture. Okay. And this one was the picture from the one we've just done. So this is that picture. And that is our nail. So a little bit similar, but just not quite there. And flickins. And so this is this nail that we have just done, which definitely needs a little work. Because as you can see, let me get a pointy bit. The lines are a lot more sweepy. Yep, there you go. Yeah, they curve in a lot more than I did. But that is that one. Okay. Now this one is going to use a lot of the dotting tool. And I'm hoping this one's a little easier than the last one. Not holding my breath, but we'll see. So for this one, you want to draw a cross. And I have gone back to my gel paint for this one because I want it staying where I'm putting. That last design I am going to try again out of curiosity with the gel paint and see if that actually makes a difference. You know, if some designs are better with the gel paint and some with the gel polish. I would actually be quite interested to know. I'm just picking dotting tools. Okay, I'm going to go with like a fairly big one. Not huge, but fairly big. So, wow, I didn't really pick up any gel paint there at all, did I? So, two dots next to each other. Of a similar size. And then, with a little gel polish on my brush, we are turning these into a heart. We're having a hearty snowflake. I use this way to draw hearts as well when clients want them on their nails. I think it helps you get them more even. Okay, now if you're screwing this one up, I'm going to flash cure. Okay, so we have this one, and that's been flash cured so it doesn't move itself. So I'm going to take the dotting tool again, and right where these X's intersect, am I in camera? Nope, I am not. I am going to do 2 more. And these are going to turn into hearts as well. So do them at whatever distance you need to away from the center to make sure you can fit them in without completely filling in the cross lines. You still want to be able to see the cross lines. I think I've done that one a little bit too close, but we will see what we can do when I'm pulling them together. Now when I'm filming for you guys, I tend to just carry on with the designs and not cure. You know, the step-by-steps, because it's just easier than starting and stopping filming. But with this design, I think I am going to start and stop filming so I can actually cure as I go with this one. That one's just not evening out properly. Okay, so I'm going to cure that one. And we're back. Now, okay. So let me just get a little on my brush. Am I in cure? In cure, good Lord, in shot. So we're just pulling a little line down. A little less gel on that one. And then 2 almost like tiny little commas coming out the side. Now, I've not left myself enough. I was so worried about being able to fit the hearts in that I've not really left myself the full amount of room that I need on the edges. I've only really left it on the top and the bottom. But you work with what you've got. And what I have is a smaller amount of space. But it's always no, it's not always no. It's good to know what I need to change next time around, because all the tips I do on here and the ones I practice on, you know, first time designs like these ones today, will go in my nail tip box, and I may bring them back out again next year to work on and see where I get. Now before I cure, there is a big line going into the center of these hearts as well, but no little flicks. That's a little too much gel. So if you press like fully and then lift off as you're coming down, and that gives you almost the comma, not a comma. What's that line thing called? An exclamation point. and the heart is your point. Now, do I get giddy? No, I do not get giddy. I'm going to cure that again. I'll just give it 30 seconds this time. So next, I'm going to go in with the dotting tool again. So see, these are all double-ended, so we have the bigger ones and then the smaller ones. I think I'm going for itty bitty over here. Well, this is the first one I've tried for the first time that I've not wanted to scrap in the bin, so we're making progress. Progress is good. Progress is good. And remember, I've stretched these out to the full nail, so doing them more compact, they will look more intricate. Like that one, obviously, you could have more of the points going up to make it look more fancy, but I filled that out with a size 0 nail, so doing that smaller will make that look more intricate as well. So, oh, the baby hearts get 3 dots on each side. And I won't refill my dotting tool up because it'll go big dot, medium dot, baby dot. And it's basically just your dotting tool running out of gel polish, because they will get smaller as you go. Or you could use, am I saying in shot there, 3 different size dotting tools. It is always whichever way, a little too much shell on that one, whichever way works best for you, because all the nail artists you see on YouTube, TikTok, they all have their own way of doing things, but their own way of doing things isn't necessarily a way that is going to suit you, or the way you draw, or the way you work. So you have to alter it to fit a way that does. And that is it for that design. But I'm thinking I might just, yeah, because I've stretched this out. So in the picture, these hearts up here sit just above these hearts here. So I have made the lines too long. That's why it's scrunchy in the middle and stretched out at the top. So we will cure that. And let me shrink that down. I do apologize. That is the original. Oh, there we go. This is the original one that I was working off. And as you can see, the heart here sits just above these ones where I'd made my lines longer just to fit it in. But yeah, for a trial run at Snowflakes, that wasn't that bad. But remember, adapt to whichever suits you. Same for the materials. It could be gel polish, it could be gel paints. It is whichever works. And this one really, really needs some practice. So, there we go. That is all 4 snow designs. Snowflake designs. Hopefully this video has helped some of you. And if not to learn a new snowflake design, then to learn you not to make the same mistakes I have. And remember, these ones are like little flickies. They are not sticky out teas like I have done. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. And those of you that have watched it all, thank you very much for watching and supporting my channel. And give them a go. It's always nice to try something new. And if at first you don't succeed, try and try again and all that. This one I'm almost happy with. That one I don't mind. This one I hate and we'll be doing again. But yeah, I will have more videos for you soon. I have seen a lovely nail design with like teeny tiny Christmas bits on it, and it's really lovely. And I've seen some nice ways to do, you know, like with the sweater nails with sprinkles. But for like Christmas trees and snow scenes. So I'm going to hopefully put a video on that as well. And it doesn't need to be done with acrylic. If you're not an acrylic user, it can also be done with glitters. But yeah, I will see you all soon, and thank you very much for watching.